So, hello everyone. Today I'm going to share with you some our experience about transformation and some innovation about our current position. So in the part first of my presentation, I'm going to tell you about our current position and how we are using our current data sources. In the second part of my presentation, I'm going to tell you about how we are trying to understand our customers using our current data sources. And in the part third of my presentation, I'm going to tell you about our little steps in the direction of true dynamic pricing and offer optimization. But first, let me introduce ourselves. S7 Airlines is the second large company in Russia with 15% of market share. Our main competitor is Aeroflot, which is a governmental legacy airlines with almost the half of the market. And here's our fleet. We now have 85 aircrafts, and the basis of it is a Airbus A320 family with 4 of Neo type, which we started to operate last year. And also last year we started to operate Embraer E70 for our new regional flights program. And here's our network. As you can see, we are trying to connect the whole Russia from St. Petersburg to Vladivostok, and our main hubs are Moscow, Domodedovo, and Novosibirsk here in the center. So we have a lot of European routes and Asian routes as well. About our distribution. Last year we reached this number of half of our sales, which went through our own sales channel, and almost 90% of these are for our own website. And this year we're expecting even more than a half of our sales goes to our own channels. So let's move to the part first. This is our core system, which is in-house. We call it critical flight system, and each revenue manager works with this system every day for 3, maybe 4 hours. And using this system, revenue managers just understand what flights and seasons are really critical and where they need to take some actions. On the right-hand side, you may see the interface and the core of this system. And the core of this system is the optimal profile. Here you can see these classical booking curves with colors for RBDs. And these thin lights around these booking curves are for optimal profile. What do I mean here? If you are an unexperienced revenue manager, you just need to keep your booking curve inside of this optimal profile, and then you are going to reach the maximum revenue or something close to it. What are disadvantages about this curves? They are handmade, so they are made by our main experts, and the experts might some be wrong sometimes. And of course, they cannot take into consideration the whole seasonality of flights, and there is no any financials in here. So we decided to improve it this year, and I will talk about this later. Let me skip this. And what we did to add some financials in here. So we're now using not only our booking performance and sales performance to measure our profitability, but also we are now looking for evolution of most important KPIs. It's an average fare, it's our sales, and it's RASK. So on this graph you may observe the evolution and compare it with the last year performance. So the red line is for this year performance, green line with for last year performance. And as you can see on this graph, manager picked the strategy to sell higher prices, which you may see on the average fare graph in this year comparing last year, which caused some losses in ticket sales amounts and some losses in load factor, but a little win in terms of RASK. So it's obvious that manager here should change his strategy And the question is how he should change his strategy, because we cannot say that last year was something ideal. And to build these ideal situations, we started this year our a new project using machine learning algorithms. So we are just analyze with the machine our history and some ideal situation, trying to pick flights with the maximum of revenue, and to provide managers information what is the actual ideal area to each KPI. So as you can see, we need to work harder around average fare, because now this optimal profile, which is yellow here, is quite wide. But for ASK and load factor machine is learned well, and we are going to use this in production this year, in a couple of months, just to provide managers the information of the ideal picture for ASK and for load factor, to make them their decisions right. So next we are moving to our understanding of our customers. We figured out that our managers, they are only people, and they cannot analyze in real time each shopping session and each customer. So they do not they do not need to analyze it, and they need to understand some general characteristics of our demand, of our passengers, in terms of our product characteristics. So here on the left-hand side, you may see the dashboard that we are providing for our revenue managers, and that is how they understand their passengers clusters, and understand what general actions may they do in terms of pricing and revenue management. But here is now the dynamics. So we created the analytics like this, where you can see as the bar some flights, and as the color you may see here some characteristics like and some clusters of passengers. So blue one is for point-to-point passengers, orange one is for connection traffic, and dark colors are for one-ways, and light colors are for round trips. So you may see whole seasonality for all cluster of passengers. You may fit this report as you want, and you may plan some changes. You may monitor some changes, and then we decided to move even further in terms of understanding our product and our passenger. We built something like this. It looks like usual booking curves, but instead of booking classes, we have here some our product characteristics and the sales of these products. So on the left-hand side, for example, here is the common booking curve for a one-way and round trip together for some route, and on the right-hand side, there is separated booking curves for one-way and round trip. And it's obvious here on this route that one-way passengers have much more business demand because on the small days per departure, there are a lot of sales in here. And the round-trip passengers, they have much more leisure demand in here. So and pricing and revenue managers, they should take it into consideration. So, and that is how we are preparing our people for offer management and dynamic pricing. And what is dynamic pricing? We are trying to move from this middle picture where we are offering our customers some separated RBDs to this right ideal picture when we are offering continuous numbers of prices, and each price fits separated passenger. So first, when we considered this project, we just needed to understand what is offer management and what is dynamic pricing. And we ended up with this simple scheme where the whole process is described. And first, you need to identify your customer. Then you need to understand what are your market conditions. I mean, your competitors' offers, just not to provide some higher prices for your customers. Then you need to calculate your willingness to pay and take into consideration your restrictions from the market, and then provide somehow this personal offer for your customers. And in this somehow is the most complex part of dynamic pricing and offer optimization. So we decided for us to use our own website like a main platform for this dynamic pricing and offer management, and use our current fare structure and provide these personalized offers using dynamic discounting tool. And here you may see how we are going to do this. We are going to just estimate our customer willingness to pay, and then find something close in our current fare structure, and then to adjust the discount, the needed discount. And as you may understand, we need a lot of data in here, and we may divide it into 4 main blocks. It's a customer data, of course. It's shopping and searches data from your different channels, maybe from your own website, maybe from some meta searchers. And of course, it's market data, and in the basis, it's your RM strategy. Why did we pick this scheme? Because we do not want to dynamic pricing model to calculate the forecasts and other, but just to provide some special offers. And the forecasts, we're going to use our current RMS solution. So, and while we are building all of this structure, we decided to experiment a little bit. And our first experiment, we started with our website. We decided to use our hesitating customers category. This is a category of customers that are always thinking a lot before buying. They are just switching between different dates, between different times, and even between different point of commencement sometime. So we divide it into 2 parts. It's a control group with no discounts, and the main group with different levels of discount. We are using our own tag manager to catch these passengers from our website. And then we are going to measure our conversion rate to understand what causes this conversion, our discounts or some other factors. That's why we have this control group with no discount. And here's some first result for 2 weeks of sale. And on the bottom here with blue line is our control group with no discount. On the upper red line, it is for our maximum discount group. Green is for a middle discount group, and the orange for our minimum discount group. And for regular weekdays, the results are kind of obvious. So the maximum discount has maximum conversion rate. But for weekends, it's kind of interesting because there is no actually difference between much difference between conversion rates for different amount of discount in weekends. And that means that our passengers on weekends and our customers on weekends have a much higher price sensitivity than on the weekdays. And we are going to use this information in the future offer management, of course. So next experiment that we are planning is about ancillaries. So what is difficult about ancillaries? Actually, we don't know anything about its demand. I mean, we did not ever use some sophisticated business rules for them, like we are using for tickets right now. And what we decided to do, we tried to file these complex business rules via ATPICA, and you may see it on the top of this slide. And what we understood that this is a very labor-intensive way, and there is a very low speed of change. It is not flexible at all. So we decided to use path 2 on this slide, just to file some kind of prime fare for ancillaries, and then use this dynamic discount mechanism on our website, and create some our in-house tool to create these business rules for our own website. But what was the main challenge for us is to organize our teams. And as you may see here, in the project there are revenue managers, big data teams, team marketing and PR team, and the e-commerce team. So first, we needed to organize all of these people, and we believe that this scheme will bring us success in this project. So around this dynamic pricing project, we just need to finish all we started and keep in our minds some infrastructural restrictions, which is on the screen, and of course some legal issues. So thank you for your attention.